Hello, my name is Karen Gondoli, and I am the CEO of Leostream. Today, I want to demonstrate for you some new functionality, which is a joint effort between Leostream and the Amazon DCV team, and allows you to provide secure SSO without any passwords in your Leostream environment. And we've done this by leveraging some certificate-based authentication. Now, why would you want to do this? Well, we're hearing more and more of our customers saying they do not want passwords exposed to the Leostream environment. Passwordless is the wave of the future. Passwords are dangerous when they're leaked out of your organization. You combine username password authentication with a VPN, and now it's very easy for someone to get into your environment. So instead, you go with a passwordless solution. You'll use a secure gateway, such as the Leostream gateway, and now you have an environment that allows you to be more compliant and more secure while still giving users this seamless SSO experience. So what did we do? Well, you'll see in the demo, this is native single sign-on. That's what SSO is, single sign-on with Leostream and the Amazon DCV protocol. So the users will log into your corporate identity provider. I'm going to show you Entra ID, but basically any corporate IDP that supports the SAML protocol, so that could be Okta, for example, Ping ID. You can use that as the authentication source of truth for your users. And then that will redirect users into your Leostream environment, again, without exposing any passwords to the Leostream environment. What Leostream then it does is works with the DCV library to implement this certificate-based login, which is seamless to your end users. They don't see that this is happening in the background. They don't need to know. For them, it is just a enter in their credentials once, and now they get instant access to their DCV resources for whatever jobs they need to get done. And this works across hybrid cloud environments. Obviously, if you're working out of AWS EC2, the Amazon DCV protocol is a great option for you because the licensing comes free with that. And that's both for EC2 and for Amazon Workspace's core managed instances, which are awesome because that allows you to bring your Microsoft licensing into AWS. So a little bit of how this works. Well, as I mentioned, it is some certificate-based authentication that's going on in the background. So there's a little bit of setup. I'll show you in the demo. You'll need an enrollment server. You'll have to set up your certificate authorities. But once you have that done, and you meaning IT, then your end users, again, seamless for them. And you get this really strong identity validation with no passwords exposed in the Leostream environment at all. And if you've worked with some of the legacy providers out there, such as Citrix, you'll see that they have similar concepts out there. So if you already have CAs, enrollment servers defined, you can repurpose them in your Leostream environment. Okay, so to show this in action, I have an incognito window here, and I'm going to point this at my Leostream platform environment. You see, I'm just using an IP address for that. But if you notice what happens when I try to go to that machine, that IP address, the broker knew that this user is supposed to log in using their Entra credentials. So what I'm actually logging into here is Entra. Now I'm going to go ahead and get my email address and my Entra password. This is my work account. And then my code. And so now I'm logging into Entra, and what Entra is doing is saying, oh, this user through Entra groups is allowed to log into my Leostream environment. So now I'm logged into Leostream, and you see I happen to be offered a DCV server here. So I'm going to click this. Now, that password I used to log into Entra did not get passed into my Leostream environment. Your Leostream platform knows nothing about your users' passwords. But I hit that launch button, and now what's happening in the background is the connection broker is working with your certificate authorities and enrollment servers to create certificates, and then the Leostream agent and the DCV server on this machine are leveraging those certificates to ultimately single sign me on into the operating system here. So there I'm logged into my DCV session. So now even with this certificate-based authentication, I still get the DCV functionality, for example, to collaborate with users. So I could come in and I could invite another user to work on my session with me. So you still get all that great DCV functionality when you're using the SSO. Now, from the admin's point of view, how did this all get set up? Well, if I log in here, same IP address you notice here, but I'm going to the admin portal now. My admin happens to just use username password, but you can set that up for Entra and MFA as well. So here, just to show you some of the steps, what I have is I have my authentication server. This is our SSO domain. It's just a regular AD server. I have to create that, which you probably have already. And then what you create are certificate authorities and enrollment servers. So in my case, this is a Windows machine that I have installed my Leostream agent on. The Leostream agent then realizes that this is an enrollment server, and this is where it would be generating certificates on behalf of the users in order to do that certificate-based authentication. So there's a certain amount of setup here. We have guides that'll tell you how you should configure your templates, what types of permissions the agent might need on that machine. But you'll see here, you have the ability to have multiple CAs. So that way, if you have a primary and a secondary for failover, you can use those within Leostream. You can indicate which primaries they have as many of these as you need. They'll work across different domains if you need to. And that's really all you need there. And then inside of my protocol plan for DCV, I simply say that I'm using DCV certificate-based authentication for the sign-on. So it is using the external authenticator token, which is how the DCV session itself is being authorized. And then the single sign-on is for the operating system login. So there's really these three places where authorization is happening. You used Entra ID, and Entra ID authorized you into Leostream. The Leostream broker and your DCV server did some authorization with this token to allow the DCV session itself to be established. And then through the certificate-based login, you had your single sign-on into the Windows operating system. I, as the end user, saw none of that. I logged into Entra, I was good to go. And because this is SAML, so here I'm already logged into my Entra. So if you go there, you'll see I'm just going to be popped right into my Leostream environment. So really great end user experience, really secure for you. If you would like to learn more or give it a try, you can contact us at info@leostream.com. Thank you.